Hello, and welcome to the 8th grade Unit 3 instructional video. I'm Sharon Graves, Secondary ELAR Coordinator, and it's good to be with you again. Please note the Unit 3 Analyzing Informational Text Blueprint, which is also on the CTO website. Unit 3 lasts 16 instructional days and will be assessed December 12th before the last week of the first semester. Our learning targets for today are: I can use the standards to plan for instruction. I can use authentic current events to plan for student learning with expository text. I can plan for evidences of learning that will allow students to analyze, make inferences, and draw conclusions about expository text and provide text evidence to support understanding. The hotspot for Unit 3 are the knowledge and skills statement. 8.10 with Figure 19D and Figure 19E, and TEKS 8.10A and 10D. Looking at 8.10 in the IFD, what are the most important ideas in this knowledge and skills statement? What information or broad concepts will the student need to learn to master this standard? Are these ideas being introduced or being developed? Where and in what context? And how are these ideas relevant to the students? Note the cognitive level, content, and context of each of the standards, 8.10, 8.10A, C, and D. To deeply understand your standards, ask yourself, what are the cognitive levels of the verbs? Content, context, vocabulary, other SEs that are connected to the readiness standards, additional resources or information students may need to master the SEs. What does learning look like in expository text? What are some ways to informally assess student mastery? Once the standard has been deconstructed, establish your learning target for your students. Choose a high-interest current event expository text with varying reading levels for differentiation, with various organizational patterns and rich text, which allows students to infer and draw conclusions. Read and annotate the text prior to teaching the students. Create your own guiding questions and establish a purpose for their reading. Students should analyze, make inferences, and draw conclusions about the expository text so that they can understand the big ideas, their supporting details, and the text structure, and how those ideas are all connected. They should probe each idea in the text, effectively summarize, use text features and structures to understand and analyze the text, and then generate their own and answer text-dependent questions and provide evidence from the text. As you plan, questions to ask yourself are: does the article have various structures? Can I create text-dependent questions using the article that I've chosen? And does it align with the standards? What will the students provide as evidences of their learning? What strategies will I model for students to emulate? Can the students draw a conclusion based on the text? The featured article is from the News ELA website, featuring current expository articles across multiple content areas and at varying reading and vocabulary levels, so that students can have virtually the same article but at differentiated levels. With the standard in mind, what different types of evidences of learning can the students provide to demonstrate their deep understanding of expository text? These are but examples of evidences for expository text. In a moment, we will review the Socratic seminar or fishbowl discussion. Before the first reading, the text should be read at least 3 times for a deep understanding. Before the first reading, you should frame the lesson by drawing upon background knowledge, instill curiosity to hook the student's interest, establish purposes for reading through essential questions, teach students to set their own purposes for reading by turning the title into a question, and always looking for text structure. Build their vocabulary background, And ensure that students have a pen or pencil in hand so that they can annotate and record their thoughts. During their reading, they should stay focused on their purposes, leave tracks of their thinking on the passage or on paper, and relate their existing knowledge to new concepts from the passage. After reading, students should reflect and summarize the main points of the passage, recognize and record the organizational patterns and purposes, analyze and extend the text ideas by making connections and broader perspectives and concepts. During their thoughts, discuss their thoughts with a partner and write additional insights that they gained. Then they should reread with new questions and purposes to create deeper level thinking. Notice the reading strategies that are aligned with the expository SEs. Let's try a strategy. The purpose of the fishbowl or Socratic discussion is to promote sharing ideas and listening to others' views. It encourages critical thinking, and students begin to take ownership of their learning through the gradual release model. They have small group discussion, they model agreement and disagreement of their ideas, and then the observers record the main points of discussion and then share their responses afterwards. An example of questions to guide the fishbowl Socratic discussion are: what is your reaction or your opinion to the issue? What strikes you about the reading? What surprises you? What new information did you learn? And did something challenge you that you thought you already knew? What puzzles you? What questions about this reading would you like to ask the writer? And what is the text not telling you? As a teacher, you should select 4 to 6 students to sit in the middle of the room and participate in the discussion. The remainder of the class makes an outside circle or semicircle around the discussion group. Choose a group leader to start and facilitate the discussion. You may facilitate at the beginning, but then gradually release that responsibility to a student. Establish norms for discussing and listening. The observers should record comments to share during the debrief about the conversation. Change the groups after a set amount of time, possibly 10 to 12 minutes. All participants should be able to share their thoughts, and it should culminate into a writing activity to reflect on learning and make connections and transfer. This is an excerpt of a class introduction for their first Socratic seminar. Although these students are sitting on the floor, you may have students stay in their seats. Whatever is comfortable and best for you and your class.
You'll probably never hear in school again from this point is that you don't want to raise your hand. You want to conduct this like a conversation, that you want to learn more about the topic, right? You want to spark thoughts. You want it to invoke fear in your classmates so no one wants to talk. So you keep your hands down, throw your thing in, have a conversation, and hopefully we'll come up with some new ideas. So don't worry about it. But your questions, David, you don't have to go in any particular order. You can pick your favorite one.
Wait, can I request something, David? For the one about
Miss Gibbs, for rebuttal, do we have to
Victor's fault motion from Paxton?
You do. Yep. Every time you speak.
Then once Susan, when you speak twice, then you go out.
And then at the end, everyone will speak. And so you can talk after that, like it's more of an open conversation. But don't forget, at first, the outer circle can't say a word. It's hard. You guys, you're taking notes, you're observing, and you're writing comments down as the outer circle. In 10 minutes, 12 minutes actually, we're going to switch, outer circle becomes inner.
Alicia had a question that, for the next round, the questions will restart. We can ask the same questions.
For the next round, they don't restart. At the end, you can address all of them. All right? Okay, so let's start, David.
Okay. Welcome to the first round of the Socratic Seminar. Thanks. All right, first question.
Students can also use a preset template to guide their thinking and writing, depending on your purpose and strategies. Keep the template simple so that students are free to think and respond to the text and their classmates' thoughts and discussions. To make authentic writing connections, After reading, writing, and discussing, students can take a position and write a persuasive essay concerning their topic. They can research the topic further and write their own expository paper with new information. Writing takes thinking to a deeper level. It enhances students' ability to think, make connections, and achieve clarity, logic, and precision. More specifics regarding procedures and roles for Socratic seminars are on the curriculum framework found on the CTL website, as well as multiple close reading and writing protocols and strategies. Click on the links for more resources. Thank you for giving of your time to participate in the expository video and your diligence in assuring your students learn. Please feel free to contact me anytime you have questions or need additional support. Thank you.